students are looking for summer work, and they say there is enormous competition for entry-level roles, and retailers are reporting a much higher calibre of applicants, which is good for them. Some students have spent months looking for work, and finding a job isn't going to get any easier. Unemployment rate was 4.6 for the June quarter and expected to rise. Many students are finding that even at entry-level roles, say for a fast food chain, they can be up against 600 other applicants. Say for a pack and save trolley boy, there was about 15 shortlisted applicants, said one student out of a couple of hundred that had applied. So how does a young person get a foot in the door, any door? Kate Ross is a founder of Swivel Careers. She helps 17 to 25-year-olds find work, and she joins me now. Kate, good afternoon.
Hi, thank you for having me.
No, look, this is interesting to me because firstly, what made you concentrate your business on this particular age group?
Oh, good question. So I actually ran a nationwide recruitment agency for 27 years. And when the GFC hit, I noticed there were a lot of people coming into the agency actually asking for work, young people with monster debt. And I thought, Jesus, why is there so many, people coming out of university, trained for 3 or 4 years, have, $80,000 debt and then want to end up on reception? I mean, I could have got you a job on reception without all that training. Yeah. So I guess with Swivel, we put together a program really specifically around the desires of the individual based on academics, on personality and psychometrics. And so that's how it all came about. And then obviously with my recruitment background, I kind of merged the two, and so it's just kind of organically grown.
Excellent. I suppose one of the difficulties in that age bracket, especially say under 20s, is they have no experience or very little. So how can you get, if you haven't got that, how do you get a job?
Yeah, it's tough, but you just can't expect to put your CV online through Seek or Trade Me and expect a response. I mean, even the most qualified candidate is struggling that way right now. Yeah. So you've really got to get off your butt. You've got to go in and you've got to be seen, right? You've got to think of other avenues. You've got to be creative. Try and differentiate your CV from everybody else. And I do notice with students, they tend to throw so much into their CV thinking more is better, where it actually isn't.
Less is more, Kate.
State what it is. Yeah, it is definitely less is more. And also ask, recruitment agencies, because they see CVs every day. So they know what to look at. And so utilise the skill set of others to help you put together a really great, outstanding CV.
And I like that idea. You said get off your butt and that. Is it still a kind of face-to-face? Do you suggest maybe, go and see a potential employer?
100%. I mean, I would do that even in a good market, right? Because there's always competition out there. I mean, some employers like it, some employers don't. Most people I do find like that kind of approach, the fact that they've come in, they've shown their face, they can see what they're like, and they're showing they're really, really keen. Now, does that mean you're going to get the job? Potentially not, but it does put you ahead of the others that literally just post something in or send something in.
Yeah. Would this be the worst job market you've seen in a long time?
Since the GFC, yes. But it's different. So the GFC, the whole thing died, right? The whole country, the whole world pretty much collapsed. Yeah. And so there are a lot of people all through organisations losing jobs. But in terms of the actual student market, I'm referring to the school leavers and then the university students, I think it's the toughest it's been since the GFC.
Yeah. So on the story I looked at, some, students said that it was hard even if you're applying at the supermarket where the student was told there was 600 people going for the same job. I mean, how do you stand out in that? I don't even know how you would get noticed.
Honestly, it's probably going to be contacts, right? Networks, no. It's really, really tough for something like that. I mean, it comes down the food chain, right? You've got the university students that have had a bit of experience, and everything falls down in this type of environment. I can give you an example of my daughter. She's just left university. She got onto the grad recruitment role really early. The last position that she applied for, there were 600 applicants for just 2 roles within the organisation. Now, how do you set yourself apart? And she's a really good student, comes across really well. It's tough. It's really tough. A lot of her friends and people I know are thinking of not even trying. They're thinking of moving to Australia and just trying over there. Because right now it's tough going, and it probably will be until March.
Yeah,
April
what do you predict? Right. And that's because you
Well,
you just feel what?
you've got the budgets. Yeah, the budgets to be written off. So the corporate world, you've got end of budgets. I mean, you're going to come back into next year. January is always a write-off in terms of employment. Really, February starts to in a good market starts to wind up. But then there's still a lot of cautiousness out there, even though the rates are dropping and all these just positive things around. Businesses are still sceptical. People are still worrying, and this has been a really tough year for a lot of people. So they've got to recoup.
I like the way you said, use your contacts. I mean, you got to do it in life, and not even that age bracket. Like maybe if your parents, can your parents introduce you to people, or a business?
Honestly, anyone. Mum, dad, the reallys, the grandma, it doesn't matter, right? Just ask. Get out there and ask. Don't be afraid to say, hey, listen, is there a role for me? Is there something out that you just never know? This is when opportunities come up, right? Yeah. You might even start off in a role that you don't want to do, but something comes open and you move up, right? So just take that opportunity and go for it.
Now, I'm glad you said that, because the last thing I want to ask you is, what would you say, and I'm sure you've heard people, even if you've said, what you do, there are a generation that believes the young people of today, Kate, they do not even like to work, they want to get a job straight in as managers. They want, they want a day off every month so they can go do yoga. There's all that stuff. What would you say to that?
There's an element of people out there exactly like that, 100%. There's a certain part of that generation that they think that they should get the gym membership, they should get the parking allowance, they should get food allowance. I mean, it blows my mind, right? I'm still seeing it. But, I remember when I started, the manager walked past, you literally stood up at your desk. Now they don't even put their head up, they're on their phones. There is that attitude out there. But that comes down to a good management system saying, hey, listen, this is not acceptable and this is how we work, and either take it or leave it. And that's how it should be.
Yeah. Good to know. Look, Kate, thank you so much for your time today. Really good and interesting to talk to you. That is Kate Ross, CEO and founder of Swivel Careers. Predominantly she works with 17 to 25-year-olds.